On the show today, we talk about why we dream in symbols. Our symbol today is guides. And as always, we interpret the dreams and answer the questions you sent in during the week. Welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show about dreams, guidance, and healing. I'm Susan Pullen, life coach and shamanic healer, and I'm in the studio with Heidi Brooke, our medium.
Hello. And
Michael Sheridan, our dream expert.
Hello.
Thanks to everyone who sent dreams in during the week to radio show@dream-analysis.com. Please continue to send them in, as we always need them for the show. And also you can jump the line. If you didn't get a chance to send one in ahead, you can call us live on the show at 425-373-5527, and we'll analyze your dream or connect with your guides for advice. Or you can call with questions about healing or changing patterns in your life, and I can help with that. So, Michael, we don't have too many shows left.
No,
huh?
This is our third last. So I think I'm fading out with it. I've got something.
You're going to celebrate the show with losing your voice.
I always thought we the show would end in a bang. Maybe a sex scandal or something like that. But instead, it's going like this.
Oh, you've got 3 weeks left.
Hopefully not.
I was joking with 3 weeks left. I was joking with Heidi, saying my childhood punishments, like staying home, avoiding a party, or going to bed early, have become my adult goals. So not surprising it's gone out the way it's gone.
So for those who are already anticipating missing the show, they can find archives of the show.
Absolutely. We've archives of all the shows. Just go to dream-analysis.com and click the radio button there. And we will have, this archive of this show will be there by about 2 o'clock today. So all the previous shows will be on it also.
And can people download that on iTunes also?
iTunes works on iTunes, Android, and it'll also work on the web on the site itself. So you don't have to stream it if you don't want to stream it, because we know that hurts some people. So we had a friend of the show who paid $150 to listen to it abroad because it was streamed, which is terrible.
Thank you for listening.
But the other thing is, don't be sad while the show will end. We are still here doing the work we've always done. I've been interpreting the dreams for 25 years, and you can still get your dreams interpreted by me at that website, dream-analysis.com. You can still get readings from Heidi at angelsontheline.com, and you can still work with Susan at true-radiance.com.
Yes.
So, and all those links are on the website anyway, the page for the show. So
we're talking today about
why before that, we've had a few people have sent in. Sakura said, I enjoyed the radio show a ton. My favourite entertainment of anything out there, radio, TV, etc. But I understand that everything has a cycle of beginning and end, and it was really great. I'm still going to re-listen to the shows. We have Jenny says, I am so grateful for you and the dream work you and your team have done. I've learned a lot from you, and I'm so sad your show will be off the air. Hopefully not forever. Well, that's Jenny. And from April we have, I was very sorry to hear that my favourite show is going off the air. I know everything will work out as it is meant to. I just want to express my deepest gratitude for being an important and transformational part of my life this last few years. It's been such a pleasure. All love. So thank you very much for those.
And
of course,
great.
Attaching a dream to something complimentary like that is a very good way of getting it on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, I interrupted you. You were saying.
No, that's nice. I hadn't seen those, so thanks for sharing that. Our topic today, this is a question we get a lot about why we dream in symbols. It's a good question because it's like, well, if our dreams are so important, if the message is so important, then why don't our dreams make it just really, really smack in the face obvious what they're trying to tell us?
And the funny thing is, this is something we covered before, nearly 2 years ago. It was like on the second or third show. And we were just talking about going forward with the show a few weeks ago, and we were saying, we haven't repeated anything really. So it's been 2 years of different topics each show, and we could easily recycle them and people wouldn't mind because we'd be bringing a new perspective to it. And then, of course, so this is this is one from like the second or third show. And it's an article I wrote for a magazine in Ireland. So I will just read it out as I wrote it. Why do we dream in symbols? I'm often asked why people dream in symbols if dreams are so important. The reality is you don't. While in the dream world, you fully understand the context and nuances of your surroundings and the characters in it. There is no interpretation required. You interact with and experience it in the present, fully aware of what and why it is happening. It is only when you leave the dream world and your consciousness returns to your physical form that the dream appears puzzling, and we are left resorting to examine what now appear to be symbols. An example will help illustrate this. Claire dreamed she entered a jewellery shop to buy a gold chain. The jeweller offered her a silver one, but she refused it. Despite her pleading, he would not give her the gold one, insisting that the silver one was already hers. During the dream, Claire knows exactly what is going on. Her spiritual guide, the jeweller, is reminding her that she is psychic, which is indicated by silver, and that she is obliged, indicated by the chain, to develop that ability. She argues against that obligation, refusing the silver chain, and instead asks to use healing, which is gold, to meet her obligations, which is the gold chain. Her guides insist the path for her is to use her psychic ability. Claire's dream was not symbolic to her while she experienced it. In the dream world, she is fully aware of her life purpose, her psychic gift, and her spirit guide, and she is not happy to be told she must stick to her path. In physical reality too, Claire knows she is psychic, but because she cannot see how to make a living using that ability, she trained to become an energy healer. Having spent time and money on her training, she does not want to give it up, despite the fact that she becomes ill when she works on clients. In her dream, it is precisely because she understands what the silver chain means that she refuses it. She also knows why the shopkeeper will not give her the gold one. Claire is clearly not ready to accept the direction she has been given. The chains in the dream show she is on the karmic path. Indeed, becoming ill when working with healing energy supports this argument, as it prevents her from pursuing a path that is not aligned with her purpose. If you are more aware in a dream, then where is the driving seat for your life and who is sitting in it? Dreams reveal this clearly because that's where the clarity is. Dreams are an interaction between your higher self, your rational conscious self, and your subconscious. From examining a dream, you can see which aspect has the most control of the wheel with regard to the subject matter of that dream. On a related side note, people often ask the difference between the karmic and dharmic path. First off, dispel any idea that karma is negative. It is not. The karmic path is most likely the path you are already living. On this path, you bind karmic energy to your energy field to ensure that certain circumstances happen. You literally attract them because you want to attach to your field, because of what you want to attach to your field. You do this in an aware state on the astral plane while your body sleeps. The irony is that you also do this because you are asleep to what you need to do in life in order to achieve your life purpose. Show of hands, who is aware of their life purpose right now? If you're not aware of it, how can you achieve it? The answer is by sticking to the karmic path. The dharmic path is where your higher self is in the driving seat and you are aligned with your spiritual purpose. Your choices in life reflect your intention to achieve that purpose. The laws of karma no longer apply. When you first switch onto this path, mind you still have karmic energy bound to your field, and that must play out. However, you can ignore it when it does. And you were going to back this up with a dream you had.
Well, so I don't know how many of you listeners have had this experience, but a couple nights ago, I had a dream. I can't tell you what it was, but it was one of those experiences where I woke up in the night and it was like this very profound realization of like the meaning of the universe had been revealed to me, but I couldn't remember what it was. So frustrating.
Yes. But so in the dream state, that would have been all the symbols and everything that are around, and the character is in your dream, let you know exactly why you need to be doing what you need to do in your life. And that's true for almost all of us in the dream state. We're being told this is what you must do, this is what you must do. However, yours, because it had that really profound feeling, would be about your spiritual purpose, of course, and how important that is and how important it is that you achieve that purpose. Because obviously the people you affect will go on to affect others, and so on and so on and so on. And that can be revealed in the dream state. But forgetting it in this conscious state doesn't mean you've forgotten it, because in the next dream you're going to be in touch with it again.
Yes.
It's carrying that across of course, is the big thing. But that's so true for so many people. But then you'll find something really strange will happen and you'll go, oh, I know what the dream was. And what made you remember it? That person dropped a penny. And that reminds me of the dream.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, the little things that will bring it back. Yeah.
And most people do wake up with an understanding, but they forget it within the first couple of seconds.
Yeah, it's best to rehash your dreams in your mind before you get out of bed.
Yeah.
And then write them down as soon as possible.
And even me, when I wake up and my guides are like, write that one down. And no, I'll remember.
You email it from your phone from the bed.
Yeah, when it's very important. I actually as well, I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but oftentimes when I'm in my dream, when the dream is complete, I'll go meet Michael on the astral planes and ask him what the meaning is. And that happens quite often. And sometimes it's so clear to me, I think he still remembers that when I wake up and meet him the next day. Say, hey, do you remember when you did this? And he's like, no.
Now we know where your son Billy gets it from. He had a dream where Heidi was being mean to him. And he kept, all day long, he kept saying, why were you mean to me in my dream, Mommy?
And I was like, make sure you always finish that sentence with "in the dream."
Yeah, in there's people here. Anyway, it's.
I think that there's it works out actually to our advantage that we don't always, from a fully conscious state, that we don't always immediately fully understand the dream, because I think it's like if someone gives you advice. It doesn't really sink in usually, right? It's not usually...
accepted.
Yeah, accepted.
Welcomed,
there you go.
Is probably the way to put it.
Yep, that either.
You might accept it, but not welcome it.
Yeah. It doesn't resonate. It's, it just sort of slides right off of you, right? But when we come to an understanding of something on our own, when we have that moment of insight, when we put those pieces together, when we have the understanding of, how the symbols come together and what that person means to us, and and we have that moment of insight about the dream, then when we have an insight, that neural connection gets reinforced by neurochemicals that get released in the brain when we have that aha experience. So it actually helps us to retain the guidance of it better, because that new neural network has been, or new neural connection has been reinforced by those neurochemicals. So it's. I think it probably works out better than just waking up and saying, "Oh yeah, this meant that."
Yeah, I analyze my dreams before I get out of bed, if I remember them clearly enough. And of course, there's dreams that you get where you're like, oh.
Yes, I don't want
to have those too. That. Thank you.
Oh shoot, another dream about dairy. Okay.
Yeah. But then there's other ones that are like they're precursors to what's coming, and that's really good. I really like those, ones that show, you're going to be healing again. Like I had a practice in Dublin where I did spiritual healing for a long time, and I hadn't done it for years. And then because I started teaching the classes over here, I wanted to show people how to do healing, just to get them in touch with the energy. So when people know what the energy feels like, it's like, okay, it's not an abstract thing anymore. But I couldn't switch it back on, and I couldn't make it happen. And then I had started having dreams showing that it was going to come back. And sure enough, it did. But of course, in order for it to come back, somebody came into my life and did something that made it come back. So, I didn't see that far into it, but it's still interesting. So you know what's coming and you can relax about it, which I did.
So you have let's talk about symbols.
Yes.
Also, and interpreting symbols.
Yes.
So I know you have a dictionary.
I do.
Part of your book, and
I never liked the idea of having a dictionary, because my whole philosophy was dictionaries are useless, because a symbol can mean something completely different to three different people, but you do kind of have archetypal symbols that have a universal meaning. I love the terminology that if it becomes an academic pursuit, you change the terminology so that people outside your academic circle can't understand it. But an archetypal symbol is really just one that has a universal meaning because it's meant that for so many people or for so many cultures, or even just your culture in a very strong way. So some symbols have that. And as long as nothing happens in your life that would give you a personal association with that symbol, it's a pretty much safe bet, like 90% safe to say that symbol is going to mean that for you. Like a mirror is going to either be about karma or about the reproductive system, because it symbolizes, it does reproduce an image of you. So it reproduces you, so therefore is about the reproductive system. But that's exactly the problem. Any symbol, even though it can have, an untainted meaning, can still have more than one meaning. Like karmas can be about life reflecting back on itself, or karma. In other words, usually they're black mirrors, though. So it's not easy to take a symbol and say, this is what it means, because you need to put it into the context of the rest of the dream. So the best way to do it is to look at all the symbols, work them all out, and make sure that they all fit together. They're all talking about the same subject. And if they're not, then you need to go back to the drawing board. But I took the symbol dictionary off my website a while ago, and I'm going to put it back on, but I'm going to put it back on with our friend Sakura. She's a tattoo artist, and she's drawing the symbols out. And we're going to do one symbol a day for, I don't know, probably
And she did a really good one of you also, that I hope you use.
She did what?
She did a symbol for you. So look out for that one.
But they're really cool. They're nice. And it will give me time to discuss the symbol and give a little bit of context as to why it means that particular thing, or why it can mean that, because you can never say it always means a particular thing. So that's something, if you go to the website and subscribe to the newsletter, that's something you could look forward to.
So I'm watching the time. Let's take a short break. You're listening to So You Think You're Awake.
Hello, this is Heidi. How can I help you?
You tell me. You're the psychic.
That's not how it works. I am a medium. I connect to your spirit guides and loved ones and pass on their messages to you.
So why did I call? Use the force, Heidi.
Look, I can get answers to any questions you ask. That's not a problem. They can be about anything: relationships, career, children, finances, anything.
Anything? Okay. What's my favorite color?
Dave, your mom says you're being childish.
For readings with Heidi, go to angelsontheline.com.
Do you love your life? What would it be like if you did? Is there something you're ready to release and be done with? Or maybe there's something you'd like to transform or to create that's new. I'm Susan Pullen with True Radiance Healing Arts, and I'm passionate about partnering with you to make the changes you want to have a life you love. I have times available now for a private session or a personal full-day retreat with me, either in person in Edmonds, Washington, or by phone or Skype. Find me online at true-radiance.com. That's true-radiance.com, and start loving your life.
What if I told you that you could unlock all the secrets of your life? That you have a key that opens all the doors that seem impossible to open? A key to right now begin a new life of awareness and complete understanding. Every night you are told the secrets of the universe and your place in it. With full consciousness of what you came here to do, you embrace that knowledge. But there's a catch. The only way to keep the wisdom you've been given is to turn it into a dream so it can cross the veil into the physical world. Your dreams have all the answers to every question you've ever asked and every question you've yet to ask. Your dreams guide you back onto the path to your enlightenment. Join me, Michael Sheridan,
and me, Heidi Brooke,
on our interactive online course as we guide you through your dreams and help you to begin a new level of awareness. Over the course of just 6 weeks, I will interpret your dreams,
and I will channel your guides,
and we guarantee to put you back on your path. Visit us at dreamtrackersguide.com to contact us or learn more. That's dreamtrackersguide.com.
Self-help, healing, spirituality, and more on Alternative Talk, 1150.
Welcome back to So You Think You're Awake, the show about dreams, guidance, and healing. I'm Susan Pullen. I'm with Heidi Brooke and Michael Sheridan. And we have a caller on the line. Janie, hello?
Hi there. Thank you for taking my call. And I know that I call a lot, but I just want you to know that it's because I'm a super fan and I'm freaking out because your shows are ending.
Oh, well, we love to hear from you, Janie.
Thanks, Janie.
Okay, thank you.
Let's hope we can get this dream. It says dream about a religious skull found on our screen here.
Yes, I called it thrift store scroll. So I was in a thrift store. I picked up a religious scroll and read some of it. I felt like it was from a cult, and it included provisions about how to mistreat women based on concepts of suppression that the text said was a good thing to do. I totally disagreed with it and thought about tearing it up so no one else would read it and think that it was also good. But I decided not to because I'm superstitious about throwing away religious texts, and that's actually how I am in real life or in waking life.
Okay, so how does that describe your waking life anyway? You must have had a religious background or be influenced by somebody who has a strong religious background.
Well, yeah, I grew up in a Christian church, and not necessarily that I agree with everything, but I think the main thing is that, well, my feeling about religious gatherings, I guess, that the religion itself doesn't matter as much as it matters how you treat people and how you conduct yourself.
Yeah, so the dream is basically saying that, it's focusing on the part that you have the issue with. You said yourself you're superstitious about throwing away something that is religious. Now, that's used in the dream, and this is perfect because it fits in with what we were talking about earlier, that you have a personal association with this that makes it unique to you. So that symbol just for you will mean that it highlights your difficulty with letting go of something that is strongly religious for you. And this is going to be like a ritual or thoughts, things that oppress you, because that's what the focus in the scroll was. So, for instance, a lot of people have the idea that only Jesus, for instance, could be a healer, could do hands-on healing. Yet, in the Bible, Jesus says lots of people can do this and many people can do it better than I can do it. And that's actually in the Bible, but that's never emphasized by people at the pulpit. So for a lot of people, and I had this difficulty too, and I grew up in a strongly religious country, Catholic country, and everything, all education was controlled by the Catholic Church, but they didn't have they were pro science, so they taught evolution and things like that in school, and that was fine. But the religious classes and what you had to do in the country, in a social structure, was still very, very religious, like no meat on a Friday, that sort of thing. You had to go to church on a Sunday, blah 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 blah, and if the priest caught you not going, he would tell your parents, that sort of thing. But anyway, so it became a very difficult thing for me when I discovered spirituality. It became, and I thought, okay, I'd let this go because I had become an atheist for quite a while. And so when I got back into believing, okay, there is more to life than just the physical, it was still a huge obstacle for me because I was raised in that. So if I was going to believe in anything after life, it was still the Catholic teaching was there and was a barrier that I had to tear down. And it took me years. It did take me years. A lot of reading about historical things that had happened in the church, and ultimately it was a few small things. The Emperor Constantine convened a council of bishops, and they moved the holy day from Saturday to Sunday. They moved Christmas from 6th of January to 25th of December, and other things. That, for me, was the one that let me let go of the religious side. Sorry, the indoctrination. That let me let go of that. There are a lot of things I still agree with, that are correct in a lot of religious texts. So it's not the message behind the things so much as what people use it to
control.
How people use it to oppress. So I went on and on and on about me, hoping that it in some way it mirrors why you're having the dream. But the point of the dream is because it's in a thrift shop, it's saying, look, it is time to let go of this. You need to give it less value than you currently give it. And of course, it's the superstition is causing you to give it the value. But it's understandable because when you're raised in that background, anything that you hear before the age 10, you're just going to take in. You don't have the analytical filters that we have as an adult. So it goes straight in and lays down a track in the brain, and that becomes part of our personality and part of our strong belief systems that we then have to overcome if we want to go, if we need to overcome it indeed. So I'd say your dream is just about that. But what you'll probably find is that, and when I say just about it, I mean it's not surprising that you're going to have that as an obstacle. But what you'll probably find is that there's just one small thing that the dream is focusing on. It's not the entire religion. So something that is causing you to not use your spiritual abilities, for instance, because you perceive it as it would be going against the church. Now, are you still on the line?
Yes, I'm just listening intently. I mean, it sounds so accurate, completely.
And of course, the thing it was focusing on was the treatment of women. So do you not, you disagree strongly with what a woman's role should be based on the religious text that you grew up with?
See, that's the part that really threw me off, because I don't remember ever really thinking that was an issue.
Maybe it's pointing it out for that reason. So are you married?
No.
Are you going to be married at some point?
No.
Soon? Okay. I'm just wondering what it is, why it's coming up for you.
Yeah.
The thing I was seeing was if you were to have a daughter, or if yourself, or if you were to be married. But maybe these are things you've been thinking about, and so it's pointing out that it should be something that you let go of, like Michael was saying.
Yeah, but realize, of course, so the whole scroll part makes it nice, because a scroll implies something of value that's been discarded because it's in a thrift shop. So there are valuable aspects to your spiritual side, which is what that's going to symbolize. And it's up to you to promote the things of value and let go of the things that suppress you.
And to pinpoint what it is.
Yeah.
And I do have a 16-year-old daughter,
okay.
And I mean, I have had significant relationships, but it's funny because I've always kind of never really thought anyone was good enough to get married, I guess. I mean, I do put a lot of value on that.
On marriage. And maybe that's the thing with your daughter is perhaps she's the one that's going to be entering relationships soon, or that you're aware of it. And that's so that they want you to look at that aspect of your life, of your personality, so that it doesn't hinder, your relationship with her and your relationship with yourself.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Janie.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for the call.
Thanks, Janie.
So, do we want to look at some dreams?
Let's look at some dreams. I want to give the number again in case we have other people who would like to call in with a dream or for guidance. 425-373-5527. And then we have some dreams that people have sent in.
Yes, so a really short one. I had a dream a few weeks ago. I had a towel wrapped around my head and needles, like acupuncture needles, coming out of my fingertips. And it's almost like this was put in here on purpose, because this is a lady who went to Jordan just recently to attend what she thought was going to be the wedding of her daughter to a Jordanian. And it didn't happen for various reasons. But so part of what she's asking, what was the dream about? Well, the towel wrapped around the head, we're going to say, okay, that's because you're going to go to Jordan. You're going to see a lot of people with that religious headgear. But the fingertips and the needles coming out. So fingertips and nails are about reproduction and raising children. Well, it's really raising children. It's about raising children. So even though your daughter is old enough, she's probably close to 30, she's still your daughter, and you're still going to be thinking of the need for you to protect her and be the mother and so on, make sure she doesn't get into harm's way. And of course, your perception was that she's doing something that is going to put her into harm's way. So the needles sticking out of your fingers are showing that it's a torture for you, that this is going on for her. It's almost like a Chinese torture symbol here, but that's what it is. But you say it's like acupuncture needles as well. So the dream is trying to heal you of that, and it's kind of a reassurance that, look, it's going to go the way it needs to go. Although I'm superimposing that because I now know how it went, but an interesting one. But you didn't send me the dream until after you were back, so that's my excuse there. But she wasn't going to go. It's interesting. She wasn't going to go, and President J.F. Kennedy showed up in her dream and told her she had to go. So she went. So,
and it worked out well for everyone.
Well,
or so it seems.
Yes. Okay, so let's have a look at some other ones. This one's called Pope's Robes for $5. I was at a museum that was selling their older goods like libraries do. Gosh, we really have a theme here. I wanted flowers, but I couldn't find any. In yellow envelopes were scraps of really, really old Catholic officials' silk robes. I wanted gold to make little flowers out of, but instead I opened the envelope and got green. I asked my sister if she wanted the green. It was very soft and pretty and only $5. I didn't want it because I wanted to make flower petals, but I thought it was too nice to pass up, so I hoped she would take it as a neckerchief. I didn't even know that was a word till I looked it up. I thought she's made that word up.
The neckerchief?
Yes.
Really?
It's a word.
Of course it's a word.
This show educates me. Mostly from what women send in.
Yeah.
A guy sends in a dream, I usually know every word.
Yeah.
A woman will send in dreams and they will name things like a type of dress. I don't even know it's a type of dress till I look it up.
Yeah.
Or a colour.
Or a
there are a lot
fabric.
more colours. The
On the male spectrum.
Yeah.
spectrum
Yeah.
is much broader than I realised. Why didn't she just say red? The number of times I've pulled my hair out trying to understand. Okay. Anyway, so a museum that was selling their older goods. So this is about this dreamer being encouraged to use abilities that she had in a past life, her past life gifts. And the Pope's robes tells us that she's a spiritual leader because the Pope is a spiritual leader. And the $5 says it's her karmic path. This is what she must do. What else has she got? Selling older goods like libraries do. So she mentions a library, so maybe she's a counsellor as well. Don't see others. Oh, no, she is, because we see the green is emphasised in this. So she's a counsellor too. She wanted flowers but couldn't find any in yellow envelopes. So the flowers are a universal symbol for love. That's always going to be that. So here it's saying that we know there's an issue with her getting love at the start of her life or unconditional love from her mom because of the fact that the flowers show up here. And they're in yellow envelopes. In yellow envelopes were scraps of really, really old Catholic officials' silk robes. I wanted gold, so gold is to do with healing, to make little flowers out of, but instead I opened the envelope and got green. So green, that's what we have. The green is saying, so she's to channel. She's a channel. That's what the envelopes are about. And we have envelopes showing up in it twice. And the green then is the colour of the heart chakra. So it's saying that her ability, spiritual leadership and counselling both work through the heart chakra, require a strong and compassionate state of being. And what else have we got? But I thought it would be nice to pass up. Okay, so anyway, that's it. Spiritual leader and counsellor. And I've written down here, she sent a dream into one of the very first shows that we had where she was in a pink clamshell.
Oh,
I remember that.
That tells us the same thing. So it's all about eliminating this shell, which she has done because we don't see it here anymore.
No, she has
but
robes.
It's saying,
Pope's
so
robes.
it's saying, look, now that you've eliminated this shell you had around yourself and you've opened your heart, you are being encouraged to get into using your abilities. Now, I know you already do. I know she interprets lots of people's dreams from having listened to the show so much and come and done the courses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, very good for her.
Great. So we've got another caller on the line. Jackie, are you with us?
Yes, I am. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Do you have a question for us or a dream?
I have a dream, and it's a really strange thing. In the dream, I'm with my sister, and I don't remember what we were doing before, but we go outside, and I look up into the sky, and I see this huge square thing that looks like an old square transistor radio, one of those oversized ones you carry around in your hand, and it looks like where the speakers are, like it's got two eyes, and it's kind of hovering over me, and I'm afraid of it a little bit, but I'm also curious because I've never seen, I was wondering how it was flying, and then I realized that it had a scope, like a periscope thing, and it looked like it was taking pictures of the land. So I have no idea, but could you tell me what that's about?
Yes, indeed. So a transistor radio is about hearing messages from a distance, so you are clairaudient. But you say it looked like eyes, so there's also a possibility that you have a clairvoyant ability, so you can get messages through symbols. Usually it's just one way for channels, but some channels can do it a couple of ways. But that could be a pun in saying that the clairaudient messages you get give you a vision for the future. So I wouldn't be 100% confident in saying that you definitely get images, but you will already know if you do. But you definitely hear your guides. And for some people, even just knowing that they hear the guides is significant enough, because they go, okay, I realized that, but I thought it was just me, my own inner voice. So you have to learn how to tell when it's not your own inner voice. And usually it's pretty clear because it has a lot of wisdom. And, it's like, how would I know that? It has that type of a feel to it. And then you can get very comfortable with that and you go, okay, because you also want this voice to comment on things that don't require a lot of wisdom, but you want the guidance about it. What should I do in this situation and so on? So over time, we get to really trust this, trust what our guides are saying. And so even if somebody else is saying, you get a message for somebody and they say, oh no, that doesn't resonate. You know it's right and you can stick with it, and you can work with the person you're talking with to figure out exactly what it means so that they understand it. So what else have we got? The periscope that gives you a view of the land. So that would, a periscope obviously is typically used in the sea, and the sea is about spirituality. So it gives you a vision. So it again, it's all about vision. So I think you will get the symbols as well. Can you? The clairvoyant symbols. Also, I would say it says you have a prophetic ability too, because it allows you raise yourself up and get a picture of where things are going or what's around you from a position where you can't currently do it. You can use this, tap into it and do it that way. And the transistor radio, of course, I remember them. A lot of people won't, of course. But they were great when they came out, because now you could suddenly carry the radio around with you. And so this makes it a personal thing for you. So it's saying, this is your ability. Not everybody has this. This is yours. This is unique to you, and you've got it with you. You take it with you wherever you go. So a really nice dream. There's no negatives in that dream whatsoever.
So
okay, that was so weird. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Do you channel for people currently?
I don't. I'm still trying to trust. It's interesting when you were saying the clairvoyant, because I have this thing that happens to me just once in a while, and I would love to figure out how to make it happen more. But all of a sudden, I will just be like I feel like somebody walks through me, and I know something. I'll hear something. I'll like one day I was just told, something walked through me and said, you're going to be fine. And then another time it walked through me and said that was about my neighbor's, she was pregnant and worried about the baby. And it said that's a baby girl and she's just fine. So I get weird things like that, but I don't know how to get it all the time.
Okay. Over to Heidi.
So, well, you don't necessarily have to wait for that sensation or that feeling for knowing. What I'm being told is that you have the ability to look at the map of other people's lifetimes. So it's not necessarily that you're going to be clairvoyant, not that you don't have that ability, but they want you to realize that you have the ability to see into the person's kind of karmic path and look at it and see what's going to happen and what's going to occur. So one thing you can do, and your guides are saying this, is are you very still usually when these occurrences happen? I'll
be doing something mundane like vacuuming or mopping the floor.
Yeah, so trying to be...
You can practice in my house.
So trying to be creative, but being really still in your mind. I guess, are you very still in your mind when you're vacuuming and doing things like that?
I think so. I think that I am, and I'm working on this being more still and I'm working on that.
Because they're just saying all you need to do is really just focus. I call it tune in, but for you it would be like just focus on the stillness, not trying to focus on the message, because it just happens suddenly for you. It's not going to be like, okay, I'll take each word at a time. It's just a sudden knowing.
Yeah.
And to use it for other people. This is a gift you have to help other people.
Oh, thank you. That's good to hear. Well, I'm going to miss you guys. I heard you might not be on the radio anymore.
Yes, yeah. We've 2 more shows after today.
Yeah.
Oh, darn it. All right.
We look forward to seeing your ad in the paper, The Vacuuming Psychic.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thanks,
you guys.
Jackie.
So watching the clock, I think we're going to take another break. So you're listening to So You Think You're Awake. I'm Susan Pullen.
Hello, this is Heidi. How can I help you?
You tell me. You're the psychic.
That's not how it works. I am a medium. I connect to your spirit guides and loved ones and pass on their messages to you.
So why did I call? Use the force, Heidi.
Look, I can get answers to any questions you ask. That's not a problem. They can be about anything: relationships, career, children, finances, anything.
Anything? Okay. What's my favourite colour?
Dave, your mom says you're being childish.
For readings with Heidi, go to angelsontheline.com.
What if I told you that you could unlock all the secrets of your life? That you have a key that opens all the doors that seem impossible to open? A key to right now begin a new life of awareness and complete understanding. Every night, you are told the secrets of the universe and your place in it. With full consciousness of what you came here to do, you embrace that knowledge. But there's a catch. The only way to keep the wisdom you've been given is to turn it into a dream so it can cross the veil into the physical world. Your dreams have all the answers to every question you've ever asked and every question you've yet to ask. Your dreams guide you back onto the path to your enlightenment. Join me, Michael Sheridan,
And me, Heidi Brooke,
on our interactive online course as we guide you through your dreams and help you to begin a new level of awareness. Over the course of just 6 weeks, I will interpret your dreams
and I will channel your guides.
and we guarantee to put you back on your path. Visit us at dreamtrackersguide.com to contact us or learn more. That's dreamtrackersguide.com.
Do you love your life? What would it be like if you did? Is there something you're ready to release and be done with? Or maybe there's something you'd like to transform or to create that's new. I'm Susan Pullen with True Radiance Healing Arts, and I'm passionate about partnering with you to make the changes you want to have a life you love. I have times available now for a private session or a personal full-day retreat with me, either in person in Edmonds, Washington, or by phone or Skype. Find me online at true-radiance.com. That's true-radiance.com, and start loving your life.
Ready to shake things up? Try Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to So You Think You're Awake. I'm Susan Pullen. I'm with Michael Sheridan and Heidi Brooke. And Michael, we said we were going to talk about guides.
As a symbol, yes. How do you recognize your guides in a dream? And it's very easy. They have a few different calling cards. The first is they speak with authority in the dream. They tell you what you need to do. They quite often offer you a gift. That's one of their biggest calling cards. And it doesn't matter if it's somebody you know. If they offer you a gift, then they're playing a guide's role in your dream. And the great thing about guides is they're the only character in your dream that are infallible. So anybody else that's in your dream, if they're not taking a guide's position, then what they're saying to you could be a lot of rubbish. So realize that whatever guide says, it's always correct. And if you can have a semi-lucid dream or even a lucid dream and ask your guide a question, they're always going to give you an honest answer, which is really good. We've a mutual friend, in fact, who does that a lot. What else do they do? They often have a title like a bus driver, a pilot, and so on. So that's another easy way to tell that it's a guide in your dream. And then they often take a position of authority, which is slightly above you or to your right in a dream. And their way to be above you in a dream can also be to appear very tall, or show up on a horse, that sort of thing, you know. But that's what they do. They're the easiest ways to tell them. So when you realize it's a guide in your dream by what they do, whether they have a gift, a title, or are taller than you and slightly above you. So the idea in the dream is that you look up to them. You're forced to look up to them because of their position. Whatever they're telling you in the dream is something you need to do. Of course, the problem with guides is they quite often don't tell you anything. They take a kind of aloof position, and it's just by the fact that they're a bus driver or they're a postman or whatever happens to be that they're telling you what you need to do symbolically.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we expect them to be very warm and fuzzy, but they're not necessarily.
No, but then we do have warm and fuzzy ones. If somebody shows up and they help you, they do something like change a car tire or help you get to where you need to be or whatever. They're what's called a healing agent, and they're quite often introduced by guides in a dream, because we do respect the guides in dreams because of their authority. We understand they have a position of authority. And we shy away from others. So if a guide introduces another character, then that's another thing they will often do that will help us in our lives and or even get us to the point where we're willing to accept help with something that we need in our lives.
I oftentimes see guides in my dream and they're smiling, but like you were saying, not saying anything, but just smiling, almost smug. No, but just joking. But it's funny because I'll try and talk to them, but they'll just continue smiling.
But then you talk to your guides a lot in waking life.
Maybe that's why. I never really thought about that, other than, if it's really poignant dream, I'll get you to interpret it. But
yeah, and then you cheat because you go, oh yeah, that's what I channeled.
Yeah.
So you make me work for ages to figure out the dream, and then you go, oh yeah, I knew that.
No, well, if it's crucial information, I need a second opinion.
And sometimes we don't want to, I'm not saying this about you in particular, Heidi, but sometimes we don't want to know it.
Oh yeah, well no, I do that, especially if it's like you said, if it's about dairy. I still have that chocolate cake in the fridge. Well, I'm just going to have that dream 2 more times until that cake is gone.
And it's like last night. Like last night, I go, oh my God, what's that horrible noise? Oh, it's Heidi devouring a chocolate bar.
You bought it for me. They came back from the store and gave it to me.
There was no noise. I'm joking.
Yeah.
So speaking of symbols, one more time, if people are interested in getting a symbol a day.
If people want to stay connected, there is a newsletter that I send out very occasionally, but now I'm going to start sending it out regularly and sending a symbol with a picture from Sakura that is going to say, this is what this symbol means. And it'll just allows you to stay in touch. And there's nothing else behind it. Just, this is an interesting project. And we know what we're going to do at the end of it. It's going to become part of the course. The symbols are going to become part of the course that Heidi and I are doing. And there's going to be flashcards that have the symbol, and you can click that, okay, I know this means this. And if you don't, it's going to put it back to the back of the deck, and it'll come up again so that you know what the symbols mean. Because even though I'm saying I don't like symbols, they're key to understanding.
Dictionaries.
Yeah. They're key to understanding what your dreams are about. But when you know that you can't just take the symbol and go, okay, I know what the dream means because I've looked at the symbol. Absolutely not. That's only helping you with the subject matter. You need to go a lot deeper than just looking at the symbols.
And that's on your email list?
Yes. So if you go to dream-analysis.com and subscribe there, you'll get the details for it on that. So you have courses coming up. Do you want to cover them now, or do we want to do them?
Yeah, I do. In fact, I have one coming up this Saturday. It's just a 2-hour in Edmonds on handling fear and anxiety. It's from 1 to 3. And let's see, I have another series starting on Monday. It's about creativity and shamanic work, and it's called The Muse and the Medicine Wheel. And it's a really nice group of women shaping up for that. And that starts Monday. It's a 12-session series. Let's see. And then I have a class also on understanding the signs and symbols that we get in waking life as well as in dreams. Because a lot of these things show up for us. We don't just get messages while we're sleeping. We get them while we're awake, too. So,
yes.
Yeah, so figuring that out. So all those are on my website at true-radiance.com.
Excellent.
Yes. So you have another dream for us?
Yes. This one is called Too Young Tattoo. I was sitting near a door in a restaurant with my boyfriend and saw Ethan on his way out. He was wearing sports clothes, jersey shorts, maybe light blue, and showed me a tattoo on his shoulder of his basketball team / school name. It was only half finished, blue and lilac, and he had a different one on his hip, both basketball team names. His dad was letting him get it, and I was shocked, realising he's still young enough to be in middle school, though he seemed older. His dad walked by, a bit antisocial and awkward, and they asked me not to tell Jennifer, I assume is her mom. I have a note here saying, Jennifer is a deep-spirited, thoughtful friend, and she's, it says here, 12-year-old intuitive. So I'm assuming maybe the boy's 12-year-old, but her friend's intuitive. Anyway, I said, okay, but considered texting her anyway about it because I thought she had a right to know and would be upset or disapprove when she saw it. I kept thinking he was way too young to get a tattoo about something as silly as your childhood school team's sport. Anyway, the dream is very simple. Basketball is games and dreams, sports games and dreams are about pursuing your goals in life or following the game of life. Which team are you rooting for? What side are you on? Etc. Etc. That's all revealed in those types of dreams. But basketball, because of its black and orange colour, is about career, and it's saying that you're a channel, but you don't feel you've got the training. And why do we say that? what are the symbols in there for channeling? I don't have it marked out there, but they're in there. Mwah! A prize to anybody who phones in and says what it is.
Because she's texting using the cell phone, possibly.
Yes, okay. So the cell phones, and
she wants to communicate that with the mother.
Yes, she wants to communicate. So it's communication. Well done, Heidi. You get a prize. You can come back next week. So anyway, so it's about her channeling ability, but she doesn't feel she has the training, and the tattoos are only half done. But it being tattooed on the boy is about this is something that she must do in her life. So she's probably also going to be a writer, because tattoos are often about writing. And I don't know why I have written here cell phones for Barbies, but anyway, I know we have childhood school teams and so on. That's a different
dream.
Oh yeah, she had a dream called cell phones for Barbies.
And we covered that.
Yeah, that's what it is. So just to link up the two. So we've been carrying this dream around for about 6 weeks. And I should really do them the day we have them, but we don't have enough time in the hour. So it's good. It's a pity, but it's good. So let's have a look at another one. I had a dream last night that I had an overhead view of my one-room house that had my family in it. We woke up to fires starting in a few open spots. I put out the fires with water and went back to sleep. The whole thing happened over and over a few times. God called on the phone and explained that if we were still alive after the 8th time, then morning would start and we could go about our life again and the fires would be done. One of my family members burned to death and disappeared. It was someone I'm not very attached to, so no big deal. But the rest of us made it through unharmed, and I thought
my dream get in
that
there?
was pretty good considering the 8 spontaneous fires. That's hilarious, isn't it? Your kids watch a movie called Penguins of Madagascar.
Oh, yeah.
And 4 of them jump out of a plane. And when they get to the ground, the head penguin says, "How many made it?" And the private says, 2 didn't make it, sir. And he goes, "That's a number I can live with." It reminds me of that, Of course, everybody made it in the cartoon in the end. But yeah, so it's about the heart, and the fires opening are all about the heart and emotions and you opening up more and more and more. And 8 is the number that we always say in the show is about the heart. It's about balanced expression of feelings. So the dream is trying to get you to that point. But it's really saying, look, wake up and you'll be okay. So get through this period where you're asleep and you'll be okay. So it's a very good dream. But even the detachment of, this is a family member I'm not very close to. So it's not a big deal. Of course, it would be a huge deal if a family member burned to death. Even if it was a stranger burned to death in your house, I think you'd actually be pretty upset about it. So it just shows, the detachment, and this is what you need to do. And this is, it's all about communication coming through the heart chakra. So you need to get this going. And of course, the fires are about when I try open up, all these suppressed negative feelings that I have are going to come up and need to be processed and dealt with too. And of course, that's what life is about. So cutting the ties with mom or whatever it happens to be that works for you to do this. And I think in your case, you probably already did that, but we still have these things coming up that when I open up, this is a fearful thing. So persisting and getting to morning and dawn in a dream are really, really good. That's about getting to the point where you're awake. You're no longer living your life asleep, or you're awake to what your life purpose is. All very positive symbols saying when you get to that, I get your heart chakra open and get connected again with your feelings, lose this sense of detachment. That's what it's about. And everything will be okay, of course, is the message from God in the dream, or God is going to symbolize your guides or higher self. So all very positive, despite the one death. But a death in a dream can be about letting the negative influences of a family trait go. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
We should have made the symbol religious.
Well, we did not know how it was going to go, I suppose. I could have looked at the dreams in advance, but there you go. I didn't.
That's a lie.
Well, I looked at them several weeks ago. Okay, so we'll squeeze one more in, will we?
Yes.
Have time to squeeze one in?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure
the wrong babushka. And here, you see, had to look
Oh,
that
I
up
know what
too.
a babushka is.
What?
Is it Russian? A Russian grandmother lady?
It's a headscarf worn by that type.
It's both.
Is it?
Oh.
Okay.
It's both
Well
the
done.
word for grandmother and the word for the
Anyway,
scarf.
Google told me. So very fast. I'm staying at a hotel in the morning. I step out of my room and there are babushkas, headscarves lying at every doorway in the hallway, including mine. They're all different colours and all of them have a familiar floral pattern on them. So familiar is family, floral is love from family. I understand that the babushkas are supposed to belong to whoever is in the hotel rooms, but the one at my door is not mine. It is black with flowers on it, but it is not mine. I begin to look at the babushkas all over people's doors and I can't find mine. Okay, so it's about love. Flowers will heal the fears I picked up at birth, which is what the hotel about. The fear is not me, and I know that now. That's the quick interpretation. So
that was quick. Oh, we're right. So that's our show for today. Remember, you can get our contact details and archives of the previous shows on dream-analysis.com. Thanks to our producer and engineer, Eric Ryder. Thanks to Michael Sheridan.
You're welcome.
And thanks to Heidi Brooke.
You.
And thank you for listening, and especially for sending your dreams. Have a good week.